well, not where I left off 2 weeks ago in Barnstaple. So I said in that last video I wasn't interested in walking from Barnstaple to Appledore because the 5 or 6 mile walk into Barnstaple was just so boring, and from Barnstaple back out to Appledore was 14 miles. So two things decided me against doing it. I am going to do it because it's been niggling me for 2 weeks. I'm going to pick it up as a day hike when I'm in Devon visiting family, but I'm 2 days late getting down here because the weather the last 2 days was electrical storms and flash flood rain, so I thought better be safe than sorry and just come down a bit later. But you're joining me. I left Appledore just behind me that way, and I'm on my way to Westward Ho. I am about 2 miles outside of Westward Ho. There hasn't been much talking to the camera today because it's been so windy. I've no idea whether the audio is even going to pick this up. So I'll talk more once I get in the woods further up. But I think the aim tonight is, because the weather's changed, it was supposed to be quite a nice night. So I might push on to Peppercombe Coach House, owned by the National Trust. It's like a walker's retreat, a walker's refuge. I think I might just pitch up in there, just sleep inside that coach house for the night. I believe it's open 24 hours, so I'll make it to there, find a few spots on the way if I can't stay there, just in case, and get through the gate. But it's been very easy going today. It's been very easy going today from Appledore through to Westward Ho, and about the first mile out of Westward Ho. Completely flat. I couldn't do more than 10 miles today because I know beyond Peppercombe it's there's no options for wild camping. Plus I want to leave a few miles in between me and Clovelly tomorrow because I want to have a look around, and I don't want that to be at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, because I need the visitor centre to be open to refill with some water and grab a bite to eat, despite the fact I've got probably 2 or 3 days worth of food on my pack. I've just stopped for a bit. I think I've only got about 1.5 miles to go before I get to Peppercombe. But I have to keep reminding myself when I'm on trail not to just keep walking and walking, just sometimes just stop and have a look. Otherwise, what's the point if you just keep walking and never appreciate what's around you? I might as well walk around a farm field where I live. Because I don't do it enough. I churn out the miles, and it's that one time on 100 miles that I stop and look at something and just listen. And it always seems to be the one bit I remember. Not the miles, not the hills, not the achievement. At one point you just stopped and just took it in for a bit. The 1.5 miles sort of into Peppercombe, there's some real steep bits on there. It's maybe give me a workout for the day because it's been relatively flat up until then. A few hilly bits, the first few miles out of Westward Ho. But then you come onto a beach and you only walk about 20 metres on the beach. And if that was a sandy beach, I would have absolutely stayed there last night because there's loads of wood on the beach. You could have you're in the middle of nowhere, you could have a nice little fire on the beach. But yeah, I've literally not passed anywhere I could wild camp beyond 1 mile outside Westward Ho, to be honest. So it is going to have to be this coach house at Peppercombe tonight because I just don't think there's anywhere to camp. Beyond it, I've not seen anywhere in the last half mile back. So so that's going to have to be Peppercombe tonight. But I still haven't seen it yet. Thought I would be there by now. So this is Peppercombe Coach House. It's owned by the National Trust. It's just left here and managed to for walkers and people passing by to have a rest and take the time out. There's a donations box actually there, so if I spend the night here, I'm going to put some money in there as a paying kind. But it's bang on the trail. This is the southwest coast path that just goes off to the left there. That's the way I've come, that's the way I've got to go. But yeah, I'm just going to sit out here and make up some dinner. But there's 3 cars here, so I'm hoping they're going to clear out, so I'm not getting any camping gear out until they've gone. Let's take you for a look inside. So what I'm going to do is just blow my earbed up and stick it down there. And I'll be out of the rain for the night. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Some of you might watch this and think, oh, you probably shouldn't do that, but literally other countries around the world do this for their hikers. They have places like this for their hikers. The bothies in Scotland and Wales, there's 2 in the Lake District. They're set up like this for hikers to come and sleep in. And we just don't do that in this country, and it's annoying. But, yep, so this is my plan for tonight, because there is nothing. I haven't seen anywhere to camp. I don't really want to walk back to that spot I found earlier, because it's quite steep and overgrown getting here. On the menu for tonight is Idaho Perfect Mash Bubble and Squeak. These are about £1.50 in Morrison's if you've never seen them. You can get the sachet bags, but I find there's too much in there for me. But I also normally would decant these into a sealed bag, so I don't have to deal with the pot, but I have plenty of room in the pack. And I will just finish that off with one of these, just a sachet of tuna. Throw that in there. These are always for £1 in Morrison's on sale, and these are £1.50, but every now and then they do them for £1. So when they do, I just buy a load of them. So that is for dinner. And I've got plenty of snacks for lunch. My brew kit, well, this is a Boundless Voyage titanium cup. That was 23 quid on eBay. I'm still using my BRS 3000 stove, which I bought 5 or 6 years ago now. I don't use it that often because I generally don't bring a stove. But it's still going strong for 6 quid. But I will show you once this is made up. There we go, cup of tea brewing. And there's my dinner that cost me £2.50. Can't beat that, can you? Cheers. Right, I think I'm going to sign off for the night now. Try and keep a low profile around here. Enjoy my cup of tea and charge all the batteries up. So I will see you tomorrow morning. Good morning. Bit of a wild night last night with the weather. Thank God for this place. I'm not going to lie, I knew it was here. This was going to be my fallback option, because I thought I had 2 wild camping spots between Westward Ho and here, and it turned out they were no good. One was flattish, but there were some big boulders in the ground, and there were guys fishing on the beach who would have had to walk straight past me. But this was, yeah, it was raining heavy last night, and it kept waking me up. But I managed a good couple of hours sleep, so I never sleep. If you've watched my trail videos before, I do not sleep when camping. And you think after 4 years of wild camping I'll be comfortable with it by now, but I think I've just come to the conclusion I'm not comfortable wild camping. There's just this thought in my brain I'm going to get caught. And I have been, if you watched the Cotswold Way video, but they were kind enough just to let me spend the night there. But I thought I could hear talking, and I did, because the 3 cars that were parked out here have now gone this morning. They must have been the guys that were fishing on the beach. But yeah, the rain, because this has got a tin roof, the rain just kept waking me up all night when it got really heavy. And I remember waking up about 3 in the morning with 4 or 5 owls all calling out to each other. And I thought, no, I'll just get a few hours sleep. It'll be daylight in about an hour and a half. And I actually just slept for 2 hours solid. I think at that point at 3 in the morning, you know you're good, you're not getting caught. So I think that's why I slept so well. So partly I think it's down to my sleep system, my sleep pads not being comfortable enough for me while I wasn't sleeping. I think the rest is down to wild camping, which is why on this trail I was going to do a lot more campsites than I am wild camping. But I was hoping I can get some nice spots in the middle of nowhere wild camping to get over this thing of not enjoying or being able to relax when I'm wild camping. But we'll see how that goes. That's my first view of today. I've been walking now. I think I've been walking a good two and a half hours now, and it's just been penned in by the trees. Oh, big moment! 99 miles into the coast path. This is just at the point where you come to Clovelly. I actually walked round past the town and I thought, hang on, have I missed Clovelly? Why am I on the other side of it? But you actually walk past it and then come back on yourself. I could regret coming down here, but I've got to see it. Just coming up to the shelter now outside Clovelly. It's some impressive work. Maybe look. Someone on the Southwest Coast Path, 2022. But down here, 1943, 1972. Some of the engravings on there are almost as old as the artwork. Well, the shelter itself, which is 1934, was it, Adrian? Oh, built in 1826, restored in 1934. Now this is about 2 miles outside of Clovelly. This is a little camp spot I'd earmarked for myself, thinking I would get here in 2 nights. Who was I kidding? But this actual spot, I watched the Guernsey Potato Peel Pie Literary or whatever it was, film. You know the one I mean if you've seen it. And the end credits are filming this beach from Mount Vesuvius. So it wasn't even filmed in Guernsey, it was filmed in Devon. But I remember watching the end credits thinking I'm going to camp behind that wall. I'll give the coast path postcard. I'll give the coast path one thing. It does have a lot of benches. There's 4 in this coombe alone, 2 on the way up, 2 on the way down, which is more than the Ridgeway Trail has in its entirety. They're very welcome. You tend to find there's more when you're near the big towns for the day walkers. You can go 10 miles without seeing one, but sometimes they just come along like buses, and they are much appreciated. I'm really hoping that's Hartland Point up there. I'll be so disappointed if it isn't. Yeah. So this is Hartland Point, the part I've been aiming for, which seems like all day. At this point we actually sort of turned south. We've kind of been heading southwest. We turn south more now once we get round here. That's quite an impressive view. You see all these rocks and you just think this is impressive, and then you come around the bend and you see this. That's cool. Looks like Hartland Quay pub over there, my end point for the day, I think. I've got a feeling this moment here is going to rank as one of my biggest highlights in hiking possibly ever. This place is just amazing. Hartland Quay is just over here, the pub. But this is just a stunning view, even the whole sort of 180 panorama. It's incredible. A couple of big climbs to do before I get to the pub, so it's only 3 o'clock, so we should be alright. I remember going to Tintagel Castle about 20 years ago, and the view from there of the waves crashing on the rocks has stuck with me 20 years later, still vividly. I've got a feeling I'm going to remember that moment on the rocks there for the rest of my life. It's insanely beautiful around here. I'm hoping this is the last big hill of the day. It'll be a nice little place to camp up, but there's a house just there. Get camped up and go on the beach for a bit. Interesting. So I've opted for a campsite today. So I've got the MSR Hubba tent there. This is Stoke Barton campsite. I've never set this tent up before, you see, so I figured I should do it in a controlled environment rather than a cliff top. But I'll give a quick look inside. The reason I went for a 2-man tent is I just like my gear inside the tent with me. But this is a Big Agnes Air Core sleep pad. The reason I got this is it's really thick. You can see if I put this next to this pot there, it's a really thick pad. I think it's 8 centimetres. Because I don't sleep well, I needed something comfortable. Trekology sleep pads, and this is just a Vango 2-season sleeping bag. I've used this for years. I've never been cold in the winter, in the summer and spring, so it's just the one thing I've never upgraded. So this is me for today. I'm going to have a shower and head down the pub. So I will see you tomorrow when I head to Bude.